Sin is eating this patch. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are a couple of characters that I feel like give him a hard time. We're gonna go ahead and talk about his matchup charts right now, man. I know you guys been waiting for it. The Sin player that literally brought Sin on this map. Let's get into it. All right, guys. It's time. We are going to do a matchup chart. Sin is cracked out. This character was mad good. Nobody didn't believe me. People called me crazy. Sin Kiske is him. Man, last patch, it was so bad. I don't even know why I played it out. I tried. Barely even now. Now that I have high damage, good normals, good mid-range. Also, a lot of her, like, offense pressure kind of got, like, homogenized to, like, kind of deal with. You don't have to specifically, like, do certain things to stop, like, her simple offense. She can play around the air. Since anti-air return is not as high, we get hit like standing. You're able to like take those risks. Millia. One of the biggest things that's really hard in this match, once she kind of like gets her offense going, it's really hard to just like fight back and get out of it. I stay hungry in this matchup most of the time. Because she's above me, a lot of my air normals can't reach her. The only button that can reach is like jump K, but the return and the confirm off of that, it's like very, very low versus where if she counter hits me, it's like she's playing the game. This matchup is not good, but you know, if Sin hits her, it could be troublesome, right? So, this matchup is interesting because older games, Soul used to lose to Sin pretty bad, but because Sin's max range is punishable every time, and then he has to kind of commit with a follow-up. He's one of the only characters that can punish the follow-up. This neutral is really good, and then, you know, he has a fireball. And Sin has a hard time with fireballs because he can't really, like, maneuver around. He has to commit over. But he actually does the same amount of damage that Sin does, if not easier and better. Johnny, when they fight Sin, they complain about how Sin wins this matchup for free. I can tell you safely that that is incorrect. They don't know how to use the normals in the matchup correctly to like actually shut down Sin. With that being said, this matchup is definitely not that good. For a character that's like top tier, we're aiming at all the bad matchups, right? Notice that it's not here. Axl Low. If Axl was more oppressive, I would say he's fast, but it's not that bad. Once kind of Sin gets in on Axl, I don't think it's that bad anymore. It's just a matter of like getting there. It's really bad. While I'm getting in, I'm naturally getting my stamina back. So that means that when I get my offense going again, like I have resources. So the fact that I don't have to like refill is good. Batman's archetype always kind of gave Sin a hard time, but because Batman is not really that threatening mid-screen, it really makes that matchup really like good for Sin. But honestly, believe it or not, Batman actually can fight Sin pretty okay. But when he gets his offense going, it's like really hard for Sin to kind of like get out. Definitely, I feel like as it progressed, it could definitely go to here. Fan is eating, it actually got worse now that I have good buttons. But her new move is really good, but it can only take me so far after. So it's like, okay, what are you going to do next, right? Baiken, this matchup is good for Sin. Sin has a good range where anytime I use like Beat Driver, 2S, and even like 6K, the parry doesn't really like affect Sin. He also has good range. Like Baiken has kind of like mid. Anji, I think this matchup is even. Let me explain to you why. Because all of Sin's normals are strikes, that means that parry becomes like a huge threat, which means that I have to be very aware of like what Anji is doing. So he can throw out buttons, mix it up with parry, mix it up with like fusion, and like you have to take risks against Anji. And Anji likes that. When Anji is at like a life deficit, he becomes a little bit more telegraphed, which means Sin can like take advantage of that. Which is why I think it's even. Chipp Xana, I think this matchup is fairly even now, especially with the system mechanics changes. Him losing the counter hit, slowdown, thank God. And also, Chipp bleeds. So, I get a hit on Chipp. It's a wrap. Baus, I think this matchup is even. 2S is such a good button, and he can't low profile that. He can low profile a good amount of my buttons, but he can't low profile some of my best tools, which is really nice. The mid-range is in Faust's favor. Everything else is in my favor. So it like kind of like works out. Potemkin. I hate this matchup, but it's a hard-ass even, bro. This matchup is like a scrubby-ass matchup. Pop can just like mash out of all my stuff. I can whip punish a lot of his stuff with Beat Driver, thankfully. Nah, I don't think it's losing anymore. Nah, it's just annoying, bro. The Potemkin player can kind of just like turn his brain off and like it works. It's like Anji, but like if he grabs me once, I lose. Bridget, Sin used to get smoked by this character and so free. The table is turned, is now even. I think this is like a traditional matchup. It's like a character trying to keep out, mix your opponent up, other characters trying to go in. Because Oak is faster, she can't do like those fake block screens or like those block strings that they could just immediately press 2S. So it took a lot of the flow chart out of that matchup. Happy Chaos. Hate this matchup because I had not a lot of tools to work with. But with some of the changes and some of the sin changes, it's not bad. Once I get in on Happy Chaos with the optimal resources, it's really hard for this character to get out. Sin can really just deal with a lot of the shit and like smoke his life bomb. Yeah, not bad for a Happy Chaos matchup. That's how I look at it. Going even with Happy Chaos is a win to me. Jacko, this is where the fasting begins, guys. This matchup is crazy bad. Oh my god. Fighting it feels so bad. I feel like I just get lucky. She low profile all your normals. The move that you use to stop her from low profile your normals, her other buttons beat it off. You're ducking and weaving around the minions, and she has a lot of ways to like stop your approach. The shield buff actually made this matchup 10 times harder. If the shield buff wasn't what it was, it wouldn't be that bad. Giovanna, woo, this matchup feels bad when she's like in my face and things like that. But the Sin buffs keeps me attached, baby. I'm so glad / buff exists because that would have been bad if it would have been like the same. You know, very traditional matchup. I'm trying to keep her out. She's trying to get in. My 6P beats a lot of her air moves. It's when she gets closer, it feels really bad. As long as you can keep her out, this matchup is pretty good. Leo, L-Cut being faster. I don't lose to parry 80% of the match. Yeah, I'm so glad I finally have something now. Leo has to try to like maneuver around Sin's normals. I have to remove him around his specials. Sin damage output, I would say that's really good against Leo because of how he gets his hits. He gets his hits so far away. Returns are more higher. Opportunities a little bit more accessible. But, you know, once Leo goes into back turn, the game is over. Kiske, the GOAT, beat his son's ass, bro. Bro, I don't know what it is about the family tree. I can't compete with the 6H. I can't compete with 5K. And I can't compete with /. You have to be very disciplined in that matchup. Very, very disciplined, bro. My saving grace is Beat Driver, /, Elk Hunt. Our next character is Goldie, right? With the / nerf, ooh. The only matchup saving grace in this matchup for Goldlewis is that air to air he smokes in. Zato, last patch, I thought I beat Zato. This patch, with all the changes and stuff, I still beat Zato. Elk Hunt is being so good against Eddie. My / buff goes ham. 2S is still good. 2D is godlike. My damage output, insane. I think this matchup is actually in Sin's favor. Nago, it was very bad last patch because I just didn't have a lot of tools to really like deal with like a lot of his like shenanigans. But I think with the 5K nerf, makes this matchup a little bit more sustainable. But I think he slightly wins. Just slightly. Actually, I think now, because of like the blood change when he takes more damage, it makes Sin's like straight hits hit way harder. Which means that, you know, Sin can kind of fight him now, which is really great. Asuka, he's like a bro to Soul, so technically he's part of the family tree. It's not that easy. It's really annoying. But if I get in, I smoke his life bomb. When Sin hits Asuka, the only saving grace is that if Sin beats the Q and does the follow-up and hits him, he can like nullify it, right? Ramlethal, man, the changes is not strong enough, bro. The changes are not strong enough to beat this character, bro. Nobody in my family, anybody related to Sin or close to Sin or affiliated with Sin's family, smokes. / is too good. 2S is good. 5K. Her flip move still feels good. Everything about her is godlike. What is not good about Ramlethal? I've been waiting to like beat this character for so long. Testament. These two right here, as a Sin main, avoid at all costs. Avoid walking near them. Avoid eating at the same table. Yeah, this character 2K, / projectile. This matchup is bad, bro. Projectile is crazy. Tess is Dizzy's own protector, so we can count that as affiliated with Sin. Exactly. So that's what I said. By law. All close to the family, yo. But yeah, this is my list. This is how I feel about Sin. Despite all of these bad matchups, I still think he's top tier. Do I think he's solo viable now? Yeah, I think so. I think he's solo viable. I think you can solo with him. You're playing Halo on legendary mode, solo when you fight these characters.